Gatherings at Tannadice today as the brothers McLean faced one another for the first of two meetings in 4 days. Tommy's Motherwell and Jim's Dundee United play each other again on Tuesday in the Skol Cup quarter-final, but it was all about league points today. United paraded a wealth of skilled young talent, and for Motherwell a skillful display was imperative with the memory of last week's battle with Celtic still fresh. In the end, it turned out to be good, clean fun. Jock Brown was there.
Dundee United keep that settled look with Michael O'Neill coming in over Alan Preston. That reflects their excellent start to the season, and manager Jim McLean has solved his goalkeeping dilemma by preferring Billy Thompson in goal to Alan Main, who's now free of suspension after being ordered off last Saturday. But there was no dilemma about selecting Christian Daly to play up front. He's still 8 weeks short of his 17th birthday. The youth international has the amazing record of a goal a game in his 3 first-team matches. He's the latest and apparently one of the most promising from the Tannadice conveyor belt of young talent. And Motherwell couldn't consider Craig Patterson through injury, and Nick Cusack's ankle is not felt yet to be strong enough for 2 games a week. So John Philibin comes in for Patterson, with Kirk likely to join Arnott up front. And with Daly providing a taste of future talent, Davy Cooper still demonstrates a talent which has graced 22 international matches. Now 34 years old, he's playing his first league game of the season. And the referee this afternoon, Mr. Jim Duncan from Gorebridge. So marvellous conditions once again here at Tannadice, with a very healthy crowd inside the stadium, and Motherwell bringing a very strong travelling support through, reflecting their excellent start to the season. And this is a game which a year ago would have been one where both sides approached it with some hope. This time it's with expectation, although the delay at the start is caused by the fact that Michael O'Neill has taken a very early head knock and he requires treatment. George Burley was a Motherwell player, kicking the ball out of play to ensure that the United youngster could have some treatment. The Motherwell travelling supporters. So it's United who have the throw. And well, when you're worried about sportsmanship in the game, there's Maurice Malpass returning the ball to George Burley quite deliberately. Burley had played the ball out of the pitch to allow treatment for O'Neill, and Malpass returns the compliment, giving possession back to Motherwell. Kivokovic with the clearance. Misunderstanding there between Boyd and Cooper. There's Daly running the ball a shade too long, allowing Cooper to come back. Boyd couldn't get away from McKinley. This is Jackson. Good running here by Michael O'Neill, and an excellent tackle by Burley. That was excellent play from Dundee United, and also from George Burley in defence for Motherwell. Darren Jackson taking a good position to take the pass from McKinley. O'Neill on the run, but look at that covering play from Burley. Burley again with a header. Malpass playing that beyond McCart. And with Jackson going in behind him, McCart took no chances. Malpass faced by Russell. Daly's header. First chance for McCart to come striding forward for Motherwell. Well stopped by Malpass. Jackson going wide on the left this time, attacking Burley. Free kick's been given. Burley caught Jackson on the way past. No, he settled for a corner kick. Brian Welsh, the tall blonde figure inside the penalty area for United, is a major threat to the Motherwell defence. Maxwell's in trouble. Cleared off the line by O'Neill. Arnold did well with that flick on. Well, a rare moment of uncertainty there from a goalkeeper who really has matured immensely over the past year. Evans long ball forward. Superb control from Daly. Trying to get the better of Philbin. He's a very experienced defender. A delightful play from Cleland. Swept away by O'Neill. Here's Cooper in space. Now Russell. Digs back for Cooper again. And he's bundled to the ground by young Alec Cleland. So a free kick, which Motherwell want to take quickly. Well, there was a moment of relief there for Alistair Maxwell from that corner kick, which United had a moment ago. Maxwell beating it out, but he didn't do that convincingly, and the shot had to be cleared there by O'Neill. Back with Colin O'Neill again. Cart to O'Neill. Michael O'Neill is very quick to get there for United. A chance on now for Darren Jackson. And a brilliant save from Maxwell. Tremendous play once again from Dundee United. And Alistair Maxwell redeemed himself. It was Michael O'Neill, one possession in the middle of the field. That was a delightful pass. Nyholt, wrong-footed by Jackson. And that was a brilliant save from the goalkeeper. O'Neill's header releases Kirk. Good play by McCart supporting this move on the right. Well, pass at full stretch there. He's been forced to concede a corner kick to Motherwell. Short corner taken quickly to Russell. Jackson back defending. There's Boyd. Good snapshot there from the Motherwell captain. Tom Boyd gathering that clearance very quickly indeed as it came out there from Jackson, chested down by Boyd, and the first time dipping volley, just too straight at the keeper. So United throw on the far side. And we've been treated so far to some very good possession football, principally at this stage from Dundee United. Certainly not difficult to see why they've started the season so effectively. Look, Nyholt carrying a shin guard. He should really have that in its proper position. The referee may hold up play for it. That's McKinley. The shooting power of McKinley, and once again the agility of Maxwell saves Motherwell. Jackson setting up the pass. There's McKinley with a left foot effort, and once again a fine save from Maxwell. There's George Burley. Inside is Philbin. Now Nyholt. This guy's pass finds Boyd. Now Cooper taking on Cleland. Trying to hit the byline. Very good tackle that by Cleland. He was swift on the turn, decisive with the tackle. So Motherwell sending forward John Philbin, Tom Boyd and Chris McCart for this Cooper corner kick. Kirk on the goal line. There's Kirk. And McCart just underneath that. He thinks he had his jersey held there, making the run into the box. Corner kick from Cooper. Kirk did well. And, well, it looked as though McCart may have had a grievance there as Welsh held on to him. Philbin lofting it back, but well away from Maxwell. He couldn't keep it in play. And that is a corner kick, which John Philbin will be very unhappy about. He'll consider that to have been needless. Variation this time. McKinley leaving the corner to Michael O'Neill, Northern Ireland international. Dangerous in-swinger, and Maxwell's in trouble. It's swept away by Philbin. Here's McInally. Sent high in the air by McKinley. The offside flag is up against both Daly and O'Neill, but what a let-off that was for Alistair Maxwell in the Motherwell goal. A superb corner kick. Maxwell got underneath it, get the faintest of touches to play the ball onto the inside of the post, and it's swept away by Philippin. Well, he's done some excellent things in the match, Alistair Maxwell, but a couple of crosses have caused them trouble. Not doing well. Well, that's a very rare lapse in control from Bobby Russell. Just in a little bit of a hurry, perhaps. Ivagovic striding away from Cook. Careless pass though. There's Barley to Russell. Looking for Nyholt, is cut up by Cleland. Superbly finished by Alec Cleland. And United take the lead which their pressure has promised. And what a disaster it was for the Motherwell defence. There was Russell trying to put this across to Nyholt, across the face of his own penalty area. Tommy McLean will be very unhappy about that. But how about this? What a finish from Cleland. He didn't score throughout last season like Cleland, but that's one he'll remember. United in front, and that's a lead they can scarcely begrudge on the balance of play so far. Bit of pushing there by Welsh on Cook. Referee Duncan gives the free kick to Motherwell. Davy Cooper at long range here. I can't think he'll have a go at goal directly, but no, he certainly does, and that's brilliantly saved by Thompson. Well, that was fully 35 yards out against an international goalkeeper in Billy Thompson, perhaps even further out. Look at the power in that left foot, and Thompson made a magnificent save. Well, that brings great encouragement to these Motherwell supporters behind Billy Thompson. Russell back towards Cooper. Quickly closed down by Cleland. Here's Arnott. Needs the turns. Scooping the ball just too long for the Motherwell supporters in the middle of the field. Well, that I mean supporting players, of course. So a throw to United. Daly trying to get behind Barley. So the closing minutes now of what has been a very entertaining first half, which will, I think, have pleased the elder McLean brother more. Jim, the United manager, rather than Tommy, the Motherwell manager. Brian Welsh has been penalised again for his aerial challenge. Now can Cooper test Thompson again from this range? A two-man wall now being increased to three, perhaps. Well, this is much too far out for ordinary mortals, but perhaps not for Cooper. There's the variation on the theme. But Billy Thompson in command of his area there. Back it goes to Thompson. On from Daly. Jackson trying to get behind Burley. Good play by Jackson! And Motherwell are rescued by the post. Well, Darren Jackson has started the season with a real bang. And he almost added to his goal-scoring tally here, showing pace and strength, getting away from Burley, steering the ball beyond Alistair Maxwell, and the post saved the day for Motherwell. Referee Jim Duncan checks his watch and brings a thoroughly entertaining first half to an end. A first half dominated by Dundee United, but it was Alec Cleland who gave them the goal, which is just reward for their efforts in that first period. It's a goal which Bobby Russell will be very unhappy about. He came across field, played the ball across the face of his own penalty area towards Luke Nyholt. Cleland intercepted and drilled the ball past Alistair Maxwell to make the half-time scoreline Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0. free kick right at the start of the second half. And it'll be Freddie van der Hoorn to take it. But United looking very convincing indeed in that first 45 minutes. And had the shot from Darren Jackson gone in just before half-time, it may have been beyond Motherwell, but as it is, you can depend on the men from Fir Park to battle hard. But here's Darren Jackson again. Confusion there between Philipin and Nijholt, allowing Jackson that opportunity. And just look at the frustration there. Philipin got a touch, Nijholt would have cleared easily. Jackson waiting for that to come down, need it towards the keeper. Certainly not what he intended. Back via Welsh to Malpass. So that substitution, one O'Neill for another, will involve no essential change in team pattern. John O'Neill dropping into that wide position on the left, which Michael O'Neill was occupying. This is Billy McKinlay. Welsh. And Maxwell had to move swiftly for that. And Wells usually a threat in the box in the air, but this time showing his shooting power on that left foot, forcing Maxwell to scramble across. It may have been going wide, but Maxwell could take no chances. Welsh has stayed up for the corner. Van der Hoorn is also there. No mistake this time from Alistair Maxwell. Arnott playing the ball back. Lands at the feet of Russell. There's Cooper. Well held up by Russell. Cooper just out of reach. Kovarovic will find it hard to get the better of Boyd physically. But he does so by sheer skill. A long pass, releasing Daly, showing good pace here. Being held by Philipin. But if we allow the advantage with the youngster still in possession. Back with McAnally. Here's John O'Neill. Interception by Colin O'Neill. Kirk busting clear for Motherwell with Arnold on the right. Kirk, Cooper and Boyd in the middle. Barley supporting on the back. Play by Kovarovic. Here's McKinlay. McAnally has space in the middle. Allen looking for Jackson. Little header on, intended to release Daly through the middle. Philipin did well enough though, but Jackson's had a good match for United, continuing his excellent early season form. Now Cleland. Good play by Jackson. Taken out of the play late by Nijholt. The foul acknowledged by the Motherwell defender. Beaten there for skill and for speed. And that's why the referee is going to have a word with Nijholt for that tackle on Jackson. No complaints from the Dutchman, who knows he was reckless and late with that. Jackson is none the worse. McKinlay will take the free kick. Tom Boyd did well on the fence there for Motherwell, heading that clear. It's back now with McAnally. Pressure still on Motherwell. Van der Hoorn offers himself in the middle of the field. McAnally has found space. Here's McKinlay. Superb play from Dundee United. Billy McKinlay with the final volley. There's Kovarovic. McAnally going wide to find space, nodding it into that gap, which McKinlay fills and then sends that with lots of power but too much height towards goal. And the referee telling Luke Nyholt to leave the field to collect this shin guard and have that replaced. Remember the new FIFA rules imposed by the SFA, which means that players must wear shin guards at all times on the field. The noise you hear now coming from these happy United supporters. Still lead by the slenderest of margins as Darren Jackson had a chance there. Ball bouncing through, and Jackson took his eye off the ball at the crucial moment. And the applause you hear indicates an early departure for Christian Daly. He's the youngster leaving the field now. The thunderous applause for a marvellous performance. Pat in the back there from Kenny Cameron, United coach, and Mixu Patalainen is the replacement. Daly clearly a happy young man. Well, what can Motherwell do about this in the closing stages of the match? They've had something of a mauling from United in the outfield, but they're still in contention, only one goal behind at this stage. As United press for the second goal, which would surely earn them both points. Here's Darren Jackson. In goes Patalainen. John O'Neill also. Cleared by Burley. Here's Cooper. Fouled by McInally, and Motherwell wanted play to continue. Nyholt had possession. Well, Cooper had a smile on his face. He clearly thinks the referee should have allowed play to continue. Here's Chris McCart. Up goes Cusack. That's the danger from Cusack. Nyholt had to be quick to recover after showing too much of the ball there to John O'Neill. Here's McKinley. McInally careless in his attempt to find Cleland. Here's Tom Boyd. Qualley. Arnott. Brought down by the combined attentions of Malpass and Welsh. Arnott still working hard on the Motherwell cause up front. Steve Kirk will take this. Well, I can't think that McKinley was 10 yards away. Kirk has another chance. Up goes Patalainen. Nyholt will have to play that all the way back to Maxwell. Welsh with a header. Blocked by Philibin. All the loose balls again falling to United players in the middle of the field in particular. There's Jim McInally. He gives the return pass from O'Neill. Good play again from Nyholt. Well, look, Nyholt is one of the Motherwell players who certainly has acquitted himself very well indeed this afternoon. Pass with his head to the ball. Back with McCart. Here's Angus. Now Arnott. Davy Cooper. Coming in from the right this time. It's a fine cross. Cusack and Kirk were there. Kirk clearly believes that Cleland touched it behind for a corner. The referee doesn't agree. Just look how close Motherwell were here as Cooper plays that across. No one appeared to get a touch, right enough. But Kirk and Cusack were nearly there. There's Arnott. Away from Kubokovic and from McInally, but not from Cleland. Here's O'Neill. Cleland always willing to come forward into the attack. McCart got a very important touch. Burley will need to be quick now. Well, pass to Jackson. vision there shown by Cooper. The Motherwell throw. Inside the closing 5 minutes now. Motherwell certainly haven't given this up by any means. Great tackle there by Welsh. It went straight though to Cooper, the clearance. Here's Boyd. Now Philippin. Kirk aiming out for Philippin. It leaves it to Cooper. Holt calls for the ball on the far side. Well, the backspin administered there by Cooper, holding the ball up for John O'Neill. There's Boyd. Away from Van der Horn. Holt retrieves it. Burley calls for the ball in the centre circle. Here's Boyd again. Linking with Cooper. Boyd will make the byline all right if he wants. There's Steve Kirk. Just too high the cross from Boyd. Delivered early. Clearance goes straight to Angus. Boyd going up with Thompson. The free kick's been given. Well, Billy Thompson will be relieved about that. Played in here by Ian Angus. Boyd making the challenge, but his left arm up in against the goalkeeper. That's why the free kick was given. Here's Jackson. Well blocked by Maxwell. That was important for Motherwell. Would have finished the match. Jackson's offside. Well, this was another dangerous moment for the Motherwell defence. They're mightily relieved that Alistair Maxwell was alert to the danger there. The ball coming through Patalanian, getting up with McCart. Neither reached it. There was Jackson, and that's an excellent block by Maxwell. The whistles all around the stadium from the United fans. They want to see the match ended. To guarantee the second league victory out of 2. And they've got it all right. A thoroughly convincing Dundee United performance, despite the narrow margin of victory, which reflects the diligence of Motherwell in defence and the quality of their play as well. But Dundee United proving that they will undoubtedly be a force to be reckoned with this season, with this amazing blend of experience and youth. Alec Cleland getting the final goal in 33 minutes. United good winners. The final score, and the United 1, Motherwell 0.
Jim, 100% record at the start of the league programme. Were you content with that performance?
Well, as usual, we'll maybe have a wee moan now and again, but overall I thought we deserved to win. I thought we created some tremendous chances and didn't take them. But I thought there was some tremendous football played by both teams today, and I thought it was played in a good manner and good rapport between the players. There was an incident in the second half when Darren Jackson was brought down and immediately got up. I think that if that was happening all through Scotland, it would be a far better game for us all to be associated with. And I'm not saying that Dundee United players are any different from anywhere else, but I did think that between the players today there was a bit of needle as far as determined to win, but nothing more than that.
Well, no yellow cards, and of course it started right at the beginning when Michael O'Neill got hurt and Motherwell played the ball out and Maurice Malpass gave them it back. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, little things like that. I think it's crazy that we watch Spanish football in particular, and this happens. Teams kick the ball out and immediately the other team get the ball to shy it back to them. Motherwell did it last year actually against Dundee, and I wouldn't give Dundee anything actually, but that should be happening. I think if little things like that come into the game, I think that there may be far better, even between supporters, rival supporters. At the end of the day, it's not life or death. It's a game of football, and at the end of the day, and I'm a bro, want to be talking about that, but at the end of the day, really, it's only a game of football.
It was a very important game of football today, of course, for young Christian Daly. And for the Tannadice fans seeing him for the first time, what were your impressions of his performance today?
He was only good today. He's been even better than that. But I think a home game is more difficult for strikers than an away game, especially the type of striker he is, because he can run beyond people. He's got great pace. But he is an unbelievable prospect. And at the moment, I'm just a wee bit worried about playing him twice a week in all the games, but there's no way he'll not be playing on Tuesday with the way he's playing. But equally, I think there's a lot of other good performances coming in. Darren Jackson now is helping him an awful lot up front, and again, he is playing exceptional. I think Billy McKinley's hitting the form that we all know he's capable of, and I thought today Billy Thompson did exceptionally well in the goal. But I've missed Krivokapic, by the way, but what an entertainer he is.
Well, Christian Daly only good today, Jock. What did you make of him?
Well, I've got to say, Hazel, I've watched new young players come into the game for 30 years plus, and I was very excited today. Christian Daly really looks to be an amazing talent for one so young. And of course, he gives the lie to the notion that you can't bring young players into this Premier League, because he came in today, he showed so many aspects that you're looking for in a young talented player that you would have to now argue that it is possible if they're good enough. Now just look at this. Look at the composure here in a young man. He's 16 years and 10 months or whatever. And he's willing to control it against a good side too, by the way. Don't be misled by that, because Motherwell are no mugs. Now, he's another aspect of his play. He's good in the air, gets up well. His physique is excellent. That's another important aspect in any young player. Darren Jackson too doing particularly well here. He had a very fine match again, out of luck in front of goal. But Daly again gets the chance to show his pace here. Now, this is one of the qualities vital in the modern game, and he shrugs off Philbin here, so he's quick. He's strong enough to hold the player off. And now look at the composure. Look at the way he holds play up, looks around, waits for support to arrive and plays it back. Now that you would expect another 5 years to generate in a good young player. He does it again here. He gets the ball, holds it up. Now look at the way he screens it. That's another thing that's a mature kind of talent. So he plays off the pass. No, I think he really has the makings of being an outstanding player. Mature
player, but at 16-year-old, can he actually take the pressure of the Premier League football, as Jim McLean said?
Well, if he's well handled, as he will be at Dundee United, and he'll be sparingly used when the mud comes along and the heavy winter comes along, I'm sure he'll get rest and be lifted and laid by Jim McLean. No, I think he'll make it all right.
Well, he was obviously the centre of attraction today, but of course Dundee United keep on churning out these exceptionally talented young players. There were so many on the park today, weren't there?
Well, that's right. Brian Welsh was the sponsors man of the match, the big central defender. Billy McKinley played very well. Darren Jackson was excellent. A series of good players, but Alec Cleland also was a very, very good player. Now, he's only 19 years old, but he's got all the qualities that you can see in a Maurice Malpass. He's a young Maurice Malpass for me, an all-round footballer. He could play in midfield, he could play at the back, he can play in any position in the field, just a total kind of footballer in the Dutch sense. And of course he scored a goal, which is another great quality to offer, because he's very quick here. Now, he showed a great turn of pace and anticipation as Russell plays that very bad ball across goal. But look at the way he finishes that off. Another outstanding player for the future.
Well, on Motherwell's side, they've just brought in Luke Nijholt. Of course, they have gone Dutch like a few other clubs in the Premier League at the moment. Again, he seems to display a lot of technical ability. They all seem to have that ability.
Well, he's a defender. That's unusual for the Dutch imports, but he's very aggressive and powerful. And he's also got a great awareness about himself in defence. Look at the way he knows what's happening here to turn that away. But apart from his defensive qualities, he's got an excellent touch on the ball. Now that's very important too. He uses the ball well, passes it well. Look at this deft little touch back to the goalkeeper under pressure. A fine player.
And how did you feel Davy Cooper coped with what was really quite a smattering of younger players? He's an elder statesman, I'm sure he'll forgive me for saying that. How did he cope with it today?
Well, Davy Cooper is just box office, isn't he? I mean, even when he had a quieter game as he had today over the piece, but what about this free kick he took? You remember he scored one in the Scotland Cup final a couple of years back. He rattled one in a Rangers-Aberdeen match. That seemed to be much too far out even to attempt a shot at goal. Cooper really is, again, a man you just want to see all the time.
Interesting game. Well, elsewhere in the Premier Division today, Charlie Nicholas's return to league football with Celtic was overshadowed by a 3-0 defeat by Aberdeen. Goals in the second half from Paul Mason, Robert Connor and Hans Hillhouse. Andy Gorham hit top form, making 3 spectacular saves to give Hibs their first league point against Rangers. Ian McCall got onto the score sheet again after Davy Moyes had given Dunfermline the lead against Hearts. St Mirren and St Johnstone shared the points at Love Street. Goals from Mark McWalter, Harry Curran, Tommy Turner and Paul Lambert. And in the First Division, a hat-trick by Airdrie's Owen Coyle in the first half at Rugby Park was the spur